Hello everyone and welcome to the Scuffed Kitchen. Today we're making a German classic dish that's guaranteed to warm your heart. German Goulash. In case you don't know, Goulash is a hearty stew made with beef and a mixture of vegetables in a flavorful sauce. It's a traditional dish that's typically served on Sundays for the whole family and definitely a personal favorite of mine. This is a basic recipe and can be adjusted in many forms, but more on that later. Let's start by laying out all the ingredients we'll need for this delicious meal. For the side dishes, especially the braised red cabbage, please check out another video of mine where I'll show you how to make this classic side dish. Link is in the description, as always. For the potatoes, we'll just quickly boil them to have them as a side dish later. We'll also need 2 onions, 1 carrot and 1 leftover piece of parsnip. To give the dish a bit of richness, we'll be using red wine and beef stock as our liquids. We'll also be using butter, paprika, tomato paste, juniper berries, bay leaves, salt and pepper. And finally, obviously, we'll be using 500 grams of beef meat today. You can also use pork or other things that you have left over. Let's start by getting our mise en place in order. Clean up your cutting board and begin by sharpening your knife. Peel and chop the carrot and parsnip. Then chop the onions. A rough dicing is more than okay for everything. The onions will completely dissolve later, and the other vegetables will soften considerably. If the pieces of beef meat are too large, go ahead and dice them a bit finer. Clean up your board again to prevent cross-contamination. Now, let's get started on the goulash itself. Melt the butter in a large pot over high heat. Be careful to not let the milk solids burn and adjust the temperature if necessary. Then add the chopped vegetables and let them sweat on medium heat, stirring regularly. Add the paprika and let everything roast. Then add the tomato paste, coating everything, and bring the heat up to high. Once it's really hot and you can hear the sizzling at the bottom, add the red wine and beef stock and bring everything to a boil. While you're waiting for it to boil, add the juniper berries and bay leaves. Quick side note, I mentioned it in another video, but all my bay leaves are completely broken because I bought the cheapest package I could find. I don't want to buy new ones, so I just gotta deal with it for now. Now, for a little cooking tip, we are not going to sear the meat. I know this is unusual, but by adding it directly to the pot, it will retain more juiciness. However, there won't be as much of a Maillard reaction. This is a trade-off, but the end result, in my opinion, is delicious. I personally prefer it this way, so I would like you to ask to give it a try as well. Let it cook for around 90 minutes, at which point we'll add some seasoning, and you could potentially add more ingredients if you desire. While the goulash is cooking away, let's prep the side dishes. In my case, I'll peel and dice the potatoes, just put them in salted water, heat them up, and let them cook for 15 minutes. I'll try to time this so they are done at the same time as the rest of the dish. As for the cabbage, I've got some leftovers, so I simply heat them up in the microwave.
Microwaving them? Come on. It's disgusting!
I know. Once the goulash is ready at the 90-minute mark, season it with salt and pepper. I would recommend to salt it this late to prevent the salt from sucking out all the moisture from the juicy meat. Let the goulash reduce until the sauce is thick and the onions have completely dissolved, which should take another half an hour or so. All All that's left at this point is to plate up like a true home cook. And now for the moment of truth. Well, what is my verdict? Obviously it tastes great. This is a traditional Sunday feast for the whole family for a reason. You can adjust the recipe by adding a variety of ingredients at the 90-minute mark, as I mentioned before. You could, for example, add bell peppers or more potatoes. You could make a stew or a soup out of this and serve with bread or maybe creme fraiche or something in that direction. Sky is the limit, honestly. However, I prefer this version with a few other side dishes. Thank you for joining me in the kitchen today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time!